the expectation of always being in the starting lineup, and as soon as the manager drops them, all of a sudden the faces are long and unhappiness is in the camp.
It's the nature of the person, you know, whether you are an artist, whether you are a sportler, you know, which is also a kind of an art. To be real at the top, you must be this egocentric prima donna. That's the way you've got to be. So it takes time to manage that and to be able to bring that into a team. We saw Busquets coming in there. I think also it's been a great season for him. I think he is another player being called into the squad of 30. And by the time the squad gets reduced to the final 23, I'm pretty sure he's going to take the position of Senna, that, you know, Senna from Villarreal that we saw during the Europa League. I think Busquets is going to get that. He's been having great goals. Gabi Milito came back from the injury, and every single time they played, he's been having a great performance for Barcelona. He has not been chosen by Maradona for South Africa. In my opinion, it's been a surprise that he hasn't been chosen for Argentina.
You've also seen Maxwell, the Brazilian, there as well. I mean, on paper, they've got some players that will frighten many opposition. But what you like about it is that, as good as they are, when they come together as a collective, they perform week in and week out, Gary.
They certainly do. That's what it's all about. And only comes with teamwork. But this is the pat in the back for all that hard work, all the pre-season training, the hard matches, dealing with the odd defeat. I think they've only lost once the whole season, but a couple of draws. And at the end of the day, this is what you get, besides the wages, of course, which phenomenal.
Yeah, talking about wages, Lionel Messi, I think, earned more than any other footballer. I think something like $343,000 for $1 million for the season. That's inclusive of endorsements. He overtakes Ronaldo. Beckham falls into third. So it shows you the amount of money they're earning, Gary. It's absolutely frightening.
No, it's huge. It's massive compared to 20 years ago. Difficult to manage those players, because once you sign a 5-year contract for, even if it's $100,000 a week, you're a multi-millionaire. So if the manager comes to you and says things that she wants you to do, you can say, no, I won't do it. I'm guaranteed my money. I'm guaranteed to be a millionaire. You have to manage those players. You have to do this. You have to say, are you excited about being at the end of the season, in the middle of the pitch, crowned champions? Does that excite you? If it does, stay in the team. If it doesn't, go somewhere else.
We also saw during the season that Guardiola is the kind of coach that was not accepting any kind of excuses, like being overtired, like having to take a bus to Milan, like whatever it was. He was saying, that's not an excuse, you know, we are professionals, we've got the depth of a squad, we've got to be there, we train, this is our job. And he was always the first one, you know, putting his job on the line by saying, this is the decisions I take, there is no excuses for going there and performing. And he was able to bring the street to the players, because, yeah, it is hard to be a player these days and having so many games, but on the other hand, that's what you do, that's your job. So, you know, that's what you've got to perform, you know, just get fit, and if you are not fit, go back to the gym so that you can come back as quickly as possible.
Talking about getting fit, you see some of the backroom staff there, Gary, that obviously support Pep Guardiola, the ones that you don't actually see, you know, in front of the cameras all the time. They do all the hard work.
Crucial all they do. I mean, besides the physios, the masseurs, the technical guys who study all the videos of the opposition, psychologists, the nutritionists. I mean, it's a real science these days, and they watch the players very closely. They measure them. You've got systems that measure how much ground you cover in a match, and these guys look through it and see whether you've worked hard every single game. So, yeah, I mean, a lot goes on behind the scenes that people aren't aware of.
And just talking about that, Gary, how it's changed so much. I mean, before the 60s, I mean, players used to run or use 3.5 liters of oxygen for every minute, whereas now the modern players using 4.5 liters of oxygen. So it shows you that the game is so much faster, the requirement is a lot more
different. You've been studying up recently, buddy.
We also saw, you know, we've been reading about Messi. He had such a great season, FIFA Player of the Year, the 47 goals. Towards the end of the years with Rijkaard, he was still a youngster that was apparently going a little bit too often to fast food and these things. And Guardiola said to him, no, my friend, this is not the way you become a great player. Then you get your diet plan, you know, it's all balanced, micro elements, you know, everything is measured to the limit to get the top performance week after week. And there we see Guardiola, it comes, he's only been agreed to continue for 1 year, because he wants to see what happens with the new president, because the family tells him that he's taking this all too seriously, that he's under a lot of stress, and he wants to see what is happening next. But then is the time to relax and, substitute all the cortisol with serotonin, and enjoy the moment,
They certainly enjoying the moment, aren't they, Gary? But they're not going to get the trophy now. It's just sort of a lap of honor and a sign of appreciation. Enjoy the moment, enjoy the fans, enjoy the
trophy's been won. Doesn't matter about the trophy being or not. They know they're the champions for the second year running. They know they're a great side. They know that maybe we were on the hop by Inter Milan in the semi-finals. Otherwise, we were fine. Probably very soon start thinking about next season. Buying some new players, getting them in the door. Season ready and thinking, do we make it 3 in a row? And that's the sign of great teams. They just keep on wanting to win more and more. They keep strengthening their teams. They don't ever settle. At the start of the season, you're ready and you want to win at a game. And I'm sure these players are thinking the same. They are part of an historic situation that can only get better if they put the effort in, which I'm sure they will do. It's a solid professional team, this Barcelona team.
It absolutely is, and I agree in part, Gary, because what's going to happen is the World Cup is here. Most of these players will go out and play for their national teams now. I'm sure big concern it's going to be said for, as far as Pep Guardiola is concerned, who comes back injured, who comes back with a broken leg, can I use him next season, is he tired, is he overplayed? All those things need to be considered.
Yeah, but certainly, there we see Pujol, the skipper, and he's welcoming everybody there. He's just thanking everybody behind the players, all the kids and all the families that have come. Obviously, the World Cup is so important that every coach is going to support the players to be going to the World Cup. And it's ending at the end of July, so there is time still before the season. So thank you very much to everybody, great live Barcelona and great live Catalonia. There was emotional Guardiola.
So they're singing his name in the background.
Yeah.
Bona nit a tothom. Les meves primeres paraules són pel president Laporta. Gràcies per aquests 7 anys.
And he's thanking the President Laporta for the 7 years, leading the team.
Només donar-vos les gràcies per tot aquest any, per venir cada partit a estar amb nosaltres.
He's now thanking everybody for supporting throughout the year, for coming to all the games, for having the stadium so full in all the occasions, and all the unconditional support that the fans have been showing. And he hopes that he could repeat a season like this, and they are going to be working hard for that.
I per acabar, gràcies a vosaltres altre cop. I només dir-vos que us en devem una. Dissabte que ve havíem d'estar al lloc i no ho vam assolir. Us en devem una. I aquests no fallen.
Thanking to everyone and saying that the only deception this year is that he thinks next Saturday they should be playing the final of the Europa, the champions. That's something they haven't achieved, and they will be looking forward to doing that next year. There we see Xavi coming onto the microphone.
Bona nit a tothom. Com diu el Puyi, aquest any ens han volgut frenar de totes les maneres. No han pogut.
They say this year he feels that there's been all kind of teams wanting to stop them, wanting to win them, and they haven't succeeded. They have ended up champions of La Liga, and they have come very, very far, and they are looking forward to continue winning, and great is the club. And thank you to Guardiola also.
But there we have it, some of the sentiments coming through from the player, and emotional scenes indeed for Pep Guardiola as well. And nice message there. I mean, the indication is he wants to continue succeeding with the club. He's thanked them for the support, and also to the top brass upstairs, he's essentially saying, well, I'm here to stay.
Yeah, there's good messages coming through. There's a good vibe between the players. It's the right, as we've said, it all sounds right. It all feels like it's a good setup. Not too many undercurrents as such, and given the talent they have, there's no reason why they can't go on. Again, if Mourinho comes to Real Madrid, if he gets the players he wants, they're going to push Barcelona even harder next year. So, go and rest, have a party tonight. Where's that? The Ramblas?
Ramblas.
Ramblas, yeah.